Tessie here, making smoked queso on the Traeger today. For the recipe, we've got all our ingredients here and we've got some good stuff. Let's talk through it. We have got Velveeta. It's just an essential ingredient to queso. I'm also going to add a little bit of smoked Gouda. I think that just adds a little bit of depth and dimension to the cheese, and it still is delicious. And then we've got some vegetables. You want to use fresh vegetables, so tomatoes, jalapeno, onion. That all adds a little bit of bite and texture to your queso. And then you want to add a little bit of protein. So we have got chorizo that we're using today. You could also use sausage, you could use hamburger, you could even use pulled chicken or pulled pork if you wanted to, but we're going with chorizo today. And at the end, we'll add a little bit of sour cream just for a little bit extra creaminess to go with that cheese. All this is going to make the best queso that you've ever had in your life, I promise. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get the chorizo browning. So whatever meat you're using, hamburger, sausage, or chorizo in this case, you wanna have it browned and cooked before you put it in the queso. So we're just going to get that on the stovetop and brown that, then we'll drain it and put it in the pan. All right, now we're gonna get ready to put our queso ingredients together. The main thing you need is one of these foil pans. These disposable pans are just the best for this because when you're done, there's no cleanup, you just pitch it. So let's get started. We've got our onions chopped, and you want to have it in a pretty big chop. You don't have to make it very finely diced because that texture of the pieces of onions are what makes a really good queso. So we're just going to pop our onion into the pan, and we're going to make kind of little quadrants for each of our ingredients in here. For our chorizo, we're just going to try to leave some of that grease behind that's in the pan. We let it set up a minute, and so then we're going to pop that in here. Again, you could use whatever meats and protein you like, or leave it out and just have a vegetarian queso. So we've got our chorizo in the pan. All right, we've got our tomato. Now, normally I would use one large diced tomato, but I only had a small one, so I'm also adding in some cherry tomatoes that I had as well. Again, big chunks of vegetables are what's gonna make your queso so yummy. Getting ready to put our jalapeno in. Now I left the seeds in and I just chopped it all up together. You could also use pickled jalapeno, you could use poblano pepper, any of those would be great. Take the seeds out if you're not a big fan of spicy. I want a little bit of spicy and this is the main seasoning that's going in, so I left that whole thing in there. Now we're ready for our cheese. Oh look, I can see myself. With the Velveeta, you want to dice this up into large cubes. If you want to substitute other cheeses, that works great, but I would make sure to have some Velveeta because it just melts so much better than everything else. So we've got pretty much everything in the pan. Now we're going to add in the Gouda. I'm using sliced Gouda because that's what I could find at my little Kroger. And we'll just chop this up, chunk it up. A nice sharp knife, very helpful. I'll put the link below. And we're going to add our Gouda into where the Velveeta is. All right, so we're out here. It's a rainy day in middle of nowhere, Ohio, and we are going to start this puppy up. So with the Traeger, first you want to just turn it on, and then we're going to turn it to the smoke setting. Once it's on the smoke setting, you want to open up your lid, and this is going to smoke, and once that smoke dissipates, then we can turn the temp up and get it preheating. All right, so the smoke is dissipated. Now we're going to shut the lid and we're gonna turn our temp up to 300 degrees. You wanna make sure that your hopper has plenty of pellets. This queso will cook for between 45 minutes and 2 hours. The longer you cook it, the more smoky flavor you're going to get. All right, so our Traeger is up to temp. The rain is getting harder and we're gonna pop this on the grill. Our queso's ready. I could just stick my face in there, but it might burn a little. All right, our smoked queso has come off the Traeger and into the kitchen. We've got one more ingredient to add and then we can dig in. So we're gonna add in 2/3 of a cup of sour cream. You wanna add this after you've cooked so that it's not like curdling while it's cooking. This helps that queso get a little more liquidy and gooey and cheesy, and the chunks, oh my goodness, it smells delicious. We've got chunks of onion and tomato. You're gonna have so many bites in here, and that chorizo, oh, it smells so good. I cannot wait. We've got the sour cream stirred in, and this queso is ready to go. Let me tell you, no matter what gathering you are going to, if you make this queso, It will be gone in an instant and everybody will be asking you for their recipe. It is so amazingly delicious. We've already sampled a couple bites maybe, and it's just the best. I can't even tell you how much I love it. So yummy. I hope you enjoy my Traeger Smoked Queso, and remember, even if you don't have a smoker, you can make it at home. Happy eating, because I'm gonna just eat this whole pan. I live alone with dogs. It's just me. Eating queso. All day. And all night. Thought I was kidding, didn't you? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and a tub of queso. A good time.